Hello, we've been working with Mid and South Essex Healthcare Partnership. They had a challenge around the number of ambulance call-outs and hospital admissions that were directly related to non-injury falls. So, determined to change this, they issued Raizers to care homes within their catchment area as part of an extended pilot. This has enabled the care home staff to lift the fallen resident rather than having to call a paramedic to attend site. By training the staff on how to identify a non-injury fall and how to safely operate the Raizer chair, they've been able to reduce the number of ambulance call-outs, provide better care for the residents, and finally reduce the number of admissions to hospital. Let's hear what some of the care homes had to say about the pilot.
I'm Jennifer Reid. I've been running the Adala since March of this year. We are a residential care home.
My name's Debbie, I'm a senior here at Adala.
I'm Kerry Cooper. I've worked for Runwood Homes for 18 years this year. I'm now obviously the home manager.
Hi, I'm Joan Whitehouse. I'm Activities Manager for Sonic Care Homes, which is St Mary's Court and the New Deanery.
So before we were using the Raizer chair, we would be calling, if someone had fallen on the floor and they had an injury, we would be calling paramedics and waiting for them. At the moment, we are now using the Raizer chair if a resident falls on the floor instead of the hoist, which is a lot more comfortable for the person. And if someone's living with dementia, the hoist is quite scary, they don't understand the strap, whereas the Raizer chair is a lot more comfortable to put that person on.
And then get the big hoist up, which was really scary for someone that just had a fall, obviously, with this big metal frame coming down on them. So yeah, and then we'd get them back up. Otherwise, if we weren't too sure, we'd obviously have to call the ambulance crew out to get them up or check them over.
That we'll be able to get people up and we'll be more self-sufficient to be able to use a piece of equipment. And it also, the staff, it gives them confidence to use the chair. And also for the residents, it's that peace of mind that if they do fall over, we have a very handy piece of kit in the building to be able to use and get them off the floor. It takes that stress off of that person, because when they fall, they're quite frightened and they are going to fall. You're not going to ever stop someone falling. Some people have a very high level number of falls. So for us as a care home, I think it's really beneficial that we have the Raizer chair.
It's already had an impact on the number of calls. Obviously, we're working with Wizan as well. With the Raizer chair, obviously there's a number of questions that aids us to whether we're able to get that resident off the floor. The Raizer chair is easy. A lot of residents, when you bring a hoist down to them after having a fall, are quite scared of a hoist over the top of them and a sling being put round them and all the manoeuvring, whereas with the Raizer chair, as long as you know that resident's safe, it's two bits of backboard that clip underneath them, put the legs in, and it just totally mobilises them up. It's made the efforts a lot easier, the number of call-outs to paramedics a lot less. It has been a really good bit of equipment.
Yes, we had one lady fall on the floor in a very awkward position, and the senior used it to get the person off the floor, and they found it very beneficial and very quick to get the resident off the floor. And obviously it saved a hospital call out as well.
We had a day that was really busy and there was a lot of stuff going on in the home. I think it was the day we had the hairdresser in, we had a lot of stuff, a lot of residents, families visiting. And this particular day we managed to have 3 residents that fell. The Raizer chair just came into its own then. We was able to get the residents up, obviously check them, made sure they was okay, and the Raizer chair would be the perfect thing for us to use. And as it turned out, it was. Every single time the residents were got up off the floor. They were got up with ease as well. They were so comfortable and there was no pressure, no stress on them and no stress on the staff either. So it really does come into its own. Every single time we end up having to use it.
We'd like to thank them for letting us be part of this pilot scheme, because the Raizer chair has been really beneficial to us at Adala, because we feel that it's much more comfortable for the resident to go into the Raizer chair, and it's much more better than the hoist. If you were hoisted from the floor, which I've actually been in a hoist and I've been in the Raizer, and it is definitely much more comfortable to be removed off the floor in the Raizer chair than it is into the hoist.
Well, We can't honestly thank them enough. It was when Jenny told us that we was going to be getting it, none of us knew what it was. And when it came and we had the training, we honestly couldn't believe it. And then we ended up having staff trying it to prove and show them how easy it was to get them up, get the residents up off the floor, and the ease that it would be for them as well. So yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for giving us a chance to use it and hopefully keep it so that we can carry on doing what we're doing at the moment. So it's so much less stress for the residents, so much easier, and yeah, I couldn't thank them enough.
I would like to say thank you, a very big thank you. It's been amazing. It's made a change in my home. It's reduced my paramedics call-outs. Working with the other equipment that they've given me, I think the way forward is technology, and the Raizer chair to a resident compared to a hoisted sling is less daunting, less frightening for them, and they feel more relaxed and more comfortable. And at the end of the day, it's about keeping your resident happy and as comfortable as you can.
I would just like to say thank you very much, really, for choosing us, and you know, we're glad that we got picked out because we do find it so beneficial. I think by having this Raizer chair now that we're back in times that we can go out again, we could have maybe take one out on the minibus, or give us a peace of mind that if someone should fall while we're out, we've got the Raizer chair just to get them back up as long as they haven't hurt themselves. So thank you very much, CCG.